We'll be right back. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to another AFR broadcast. We are here for round 18 of the Tier 1 Championship. I am Kunai Zero, and bringing me tonight's broadcast with me is Psycho.
Good evening, everyone.
Alrighty, so here we are, Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. It looks overcast. I'm not exactly sure if it'll rain or not, but in any case, we'll keep an eye on that one. I don't think... actually, I do. Give me a minute. Let's have a look. What does our weather say? We are overcast. It looks like we may get light rain. Ooh, 15 minutes, you say? The rain might come at a point that won't matter in the session. But I'm curious to see what the sprint and race formats might be.
It does look like these drivers are planning for rain because a few of them shot out of the pits really quickly.
Alrighty, so... oh man, I've got a whole bunch of drivers here with nobody attached. Why? Who is P12 right now?
There is no P12.
There is no P12?
Not yet.
Oh, that means DZ took, I see. Alfa Romeo. What is Guan Yu Zhou's number?
I can check for you.
Guan Yu Zhou's number, they're 77 and 80, no, can't be 88. 24, that's it.
24, yeah. Damn it, you just beat me to it.
That's why that's like that. Actually, no, that's fine. I'll just save it as this, and we'll deal with it thusly. Alright.
I might go and check on the weather, I'll be back.
No, not a problem. While we're doing that, let's jump on board with someone on track. I'm curious to see who would have been the first. I think.
Ooh, we have a wet to dry sprint and a dry race.
Ooh, a wet to dry sprint and a dry race. Okay, that'll be an interesting development. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, so 15 minutes and 20 seconds in the session. Apollo Pepsi, the first car on track with a flying lap. He makes his way down towards turn... the hairpin is turn 10? Turn 10. The apex. Nice wide exit. Now down towards the fabled Wall of Champions. Just curious to see what our first time will be. Here we go into the chicane. It's an easy... Oh, but he's cut that. That's invalidated. So...
Yeah.
It's a waste there, not a problem. We'll jump on with... let's see, Big Al. Oh. Actually, that was Pondon that just shot across there. So Panda currently has the fastest time, a 10.2, 1:10.2, I should say.
Bodes well for Tier 2 later.
Jumping on board with the McLaren here of Big Al as he just makes his way through the end of Sector 2. Just switch over there. So Crush there with a 1:10.3. Baitmate with a 1:10.6. Pondon crosses the line with a 1:15.0. So clearly a warm-up lap. He'll look to improve. Of course, he did run off earlier, so that explains that. There's a couple of more cars on their outlap as well. It looks like Andocat also on track to set a time. But we'll stay on board with the McLaren for now as he makes his way to the last chicane. Here we go, down towards the line.
I'm amazed he didn't invalidate that, looking at how he cut the first part of it again.
Nice use of the inside line there, then extends out wide, trying to maintain a faster average speed. Here we go, into turn 3. Just brushing the grass there with the left tyre. technical track here in Canada.
It tends to be, yeah. There's a couple of, like that, a main straight is so long with that chicane obviously breaking it up a little bit, so the guys are going to try and run low wing, but at the same time, because of the technical sections, it's a really, really delicate balance to try and get low wing around here. Because we do sacrifice so much speed in the corners.
And you do have that massive back straight, and then of course the main straight, so there's a lot of speed to be gained there, but then, as you said, you'll end up losing it in the more technical parts of the circuit. Oh, as he drifts sideways, but manages to catch the car. So, I think 2 lots. He'll cross the line here with a 110.3. So that's up to P4 right now. As his teammate is on provisional pole.
Big Al nearly painting that wall of champions orange.
This is very true. As we have 12 minutes left on that timing board. Looks like there's a yellow sector 1. That's just the Ferrari getting out of the way there. As we are on board with Hero, who's reserving today for the Red Bull team.
Good to see him back on the grid. It's been a while since we've had Hero here. He's been karting, I think, which is why he hasn't been racing with us on Sundays.
Driving actual vehicles.
Yep.
So here we go, on board with the Red Bull. And he almost became another statistic in that war. Just keeps out of it though, so we'll see if it's cost him any time across the line. Inside of turn 2, extends out to the outside. You can see a little bit of more adjustment on that steering wheel. Not ideal for time. But as we get to that sector line, we'll see. Oh, only a 1/10.5 slower than Panda there. You can see the faster sectors right of your screen. Panda with a 19.5 and No Cap with a 22.1 in the second sector. And Jack Humphries there with a 28.3. He's doing well. Just inching close to that wall, but put the speedometer up on the screen there for you. 0.363 on that second sector. Oh, and he's caught the grass! Oh, is so lucky not to hit the wall. So that's going to cost him on time, but at least there won't be damage to the car. So he should be able to just reset and try again. But wow! Well done not to hit the wall.
That was close.
Yes, it was. Oh, that was incredibly close. So Brock just saying in the chat there, good lap for Jackson. His second lap on softs. He did 1:10.3 there on P3 at the moment. Panda still on provisional pole. Crush also just exiting out of the pits there. So we'll see what kind of time he can set. As it looks like Jack Humphries also coming out of the pits for an outlet. 10 minutes to go. Warning there on the timing screen as we'll stay on board with Apollo Pepsi. Currently, well, the time set is a 1:35.4. That's obviously very slow. So, as Panda improves on his previous time of 109.7. And Big Al comes across with a 109.9. So the the McLaren team, excuse me, currently P1 and 2 at the moment.
Yeah, it's impressive to see. However, Bieber did just join the section, so I don't imagine that would stay that way.
Yeah, looks like the Alpine will have something to say about that. So here we go, Apollo now. Hopefully this Alfa Romeo can stay out of the way and not impede. Yep, looks pretty kosher. As you can hear that engine right through the rev range. It looked like a really slow turn 3. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but here we are. He'll cross the line. 6/10 slower than the fastest sector time. So it looks like a little bit of struggle here from the Ferrari. I believe that's M-Dog in the other Ferrari. It is currently 8th with a 111.4. So Apollo Pepsi might get a cheeky toe here from Baitmate. He approaches the turn 10 hairpin. Now, DRS active, down towards the wall of champion chicane. 325 or so before the braking zone. 322 here from the Ferrari. Doesn't invalidate. Schiff will cross the line with a 111.1. It's good enough for P8 right now, so both Ferraris together there, P8 and 9. Speaking of, we'll jump on board with Fieber here in the Alpine as he prepares to do a flying lap. Oh, and he gets a bit of snap oversteer. That's going to cost him on the speed towards turn 1, but we'll see if he can bring it back. Again, 19.4 for that initial first sector. We'll see if Fieber can match or best it. Ooh, gets another bit of snap oversteer on the exit of the corner. Just off a 1/10 difference. Man, that car seems very, very twitchy.
I imagine he's running it on the limit. And that sky is looking even grayer than what it did when we started.
I can see that the forecast number is slowly rising as he gets another 1.5 gap there to Panda. So Fieber's initial moment of oversteer before the flying lap has obviously cost him in the long run, but there's still 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, so there's plenty of time for him to set another flying lap. But judging by the pace, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just under, and even so, that is crazy pace from that guy. Here we go, 109.7 to beat. He's only just under a 109.839, but funnily enough, only 4th fastest. So we've actually got some pretty good competition here, at least for now. I'm sure Fieber will have something to say about that in his next couple of go-rounds. Oh, man. I really hope Big Al didn't impede the back end there. I don't think so. Whose Red Bull is that? Behind Big Al. That is, Hero. Okay. Very interesting to see that you would try and set a fastest lap. Or, sorry, a flying lap behind someone so closely. But in any case, each to their own. Here we go. Big Al. Turns 3 and 4. Oh, my lord. 0.035 on the sector time. These two McLaren drivers. So close. We go now down through sector 2. Nice extension there on the exit. 41.4. Again, 0.084 on the sector timing. We could see a new fastest lap here. Big Al just has to make it work down towards the last chicane. Here we go. Up through the gears. 5-minute warning.
There's still a couple of guys that haven't even got laps in yet, so like Hero and T-Mac will try and hopefully try and get a lap in before the rain comes. I imagine it's going to hit us pretty soon.
Oh, and he does it! The fastest Sector 3 of the session, a 109.644 in total. And he takes provisional pole from his teammate. And I'm just curious to see, that forecast number has not changed since its last one there. There is the weather conditions. So yeah, I'm curious to see if it rains right at the end. But for now, I think the drivers are safe. Nobody on track at the moment for a lap. Everyone in the pits. I believe that Mikau is on track. But I think he's coming into the pits. Yes, he is. So yeah, we actually have an empty track right now. We'll see if Big Al, if someone comes out of the pits before, and it looks like they will be. I believe that's one of the Alpines. And that'll be Fieber coming out of the pit lane there. Oh, that's just cutting the pit lane just a little bit.
I missed that, unfortunately. Didn't see what he did.
Yeah, he crossed the white line. Runs the majority of that outer turn. And
The exit.
yeah, and it's interesting that the game didn't ping him for that. But in any case, no harm, no foul, I suppose. Sveba makes his way towards the third sector. 2 minutes and 55 on the clock. Big Al in provisional pole. His teammate Panda, 109.7 in P2. Jack Humphreys with a P3 time, 109.715. And Phoebe, the car on your screen, currently P5 with a 109.839. Now, hopefully he can get the entry to the chicane a lot better than the last time. And we should see pretty magnificent time on the board. If he does so, it's a much slower exit out of the chicane, but it was cleaner. There was no snap, so he'll cross the line here. Bring the speedometer up so you can follow along with the inputs. Still a little bit of slide. You can see him correct there, turning the steering wheel to the left. Oh, and he's aborted that. He's aborted that. That's interesting. So it was an invalidation. That's why he pulled out of that. So he'll have to try and recharge as much as possible before he can set another lap. Right now, based on that previous lap, that is the sector delta there. Phoebe slower, 0.008 in the second sector, and then 0.105. So that's about 0.195 over the course of the entire lap.
Looks like rain's not going to hit. It's going to stay off.
I think our drivers will be all right. With only a minute to go, there really is no consequence right now. Stay on board with the Alpine. Hopefully this is the lap he can set. He will not have another chance afterwards. It'll be all or nothing now. Our driver.
God, he carries so much speed.
19.4, fastest sector 1. FIBA, it's looking good so far. Oh, and he's out by 0.004. Barely a nail. It's an improvement on his previous time, but not on the overall time. Here we go. 41.4. Time to beat for Sector 2.
That was pretty clean, Sector 2.
Oh, and he gets that one. A purple Sector 2. By 7 hundredths of a second. Here we go. Out of the 10 turn 10 hairpin. English is hard, apparently. For me today, as Apollo Pepsi 110.2 up into P7. Phoebe's time looking really, really good so far. Doesn't invalidate. Oh, hits the wall though! It's going to cost him some time, but is it going to cost him enough time to lose P1? It does! A 109.695. That last touch of the wall cost him. Big Al will hold on to provisional pole, unless Jax has something to say about it. But I don't think he's running a flying lap right now. I could be wrong here. It's a slower Sector 1 for him. I don't think we'll see an improvement. Even he touches the wall on exit. Across the line. Oh, and he takes it! He actually takes it, a 109.55.
Very impressive time by Jax there.
Very
saying
impressive,
that
yeah.
the top like 3, top 4 really are so close.
0.5, 0.6, 0.69, 0.7. Wow, if you got to feel for Fever a little. But Jack Humphreys was an excellent lap at the end there. Does take pole position for the sprint race.
Jack Humphreys, fine form as always.
Most definitely. There we are, a 109.555 to take that top spot. Big Al with a 109.644. FIBA, again, just touching the wall on the exit of that chicane, cost him the time. He will start from third on the grid for this sprint race. Panda, the other McLaren driver, 109.709 in P4. Crush, Batemate, Apollo Pepsi, Endocat, the M-Dog, and Miguel round out that top 10. Hero and T-Mac not setting a time at all. Now, I believe T-Mac did join later. Did he join later in the session? Or was he there from the beginning? I'm not too sure on that one.
I believe T-Mac did join late, but I don't know why he didn't set a time. He was having some computer issues before.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's significant rain. I didn't know if it was going to be a light drizzle or not, but that is actually quite significant. So you can see our cars on the grid now.
That's borderline full wet.
So this will be very, very interesting for these guys. Of course, they would have run with a dry setup during qualifying. So this is going to be extra spicy for them as the sprint race gets underway. Now, I do believe we're running the formation lap.
Yes.
So we'll actually be able to watch them go around and prepare, try and get temperature in those tires. And that should be of benefit to them, which will mean they'll be able to get their tires in a more optimum range than you would normally by default.
Yeah, we'll see how they go. These guys haven't done it in a while, so some of them aren't used to it anymore. The most interesting thing I think about it is going to be the parking, because they wouldn't have been practicing that over the last couple of nearly months, really.
I think, but isn't the parking optional?
No, it's not optional. You've got to park. And if you don't do it right, you get slotted further back in your grid box than what you would normally be sitting in your grid box.
Yeah, but I thought that option is drivers can enable it or disable it. So if they've got it enabled, then yes, they'll have to do that. But you can also disable it. But I don't think you get the benefit if you... I think it'll just give you a default park.
I didn't know you could do that. I thought it was lobby wide.
No, because I thought the same with the pit stops. But the pit stops are... the driver can turn them on or off.
Okay.
The button for the pit stop, you can actually turn that off. It's not a lobby-wide option.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So there we are. You can see Jack Humphries leading everyone around. Those are the starting tyres. Intermediates.
Jack Humphries and Big Al sort of shot ahead of the pack there. He was taking his time. He was pretending that he's leading the train.
It's weird, the gap there. I'm not sure why. Why he's decided to stay so far back, but in any case.
To be fair, though, it almost looks like Jack Humphries and Big Al are doing the first lap of the race.
Yeah, you can see everyone else just coming through the chicane now. Now they move up to their grid box. And you can see that Jack Humphries is angling down towards that inside apex. First kick. And that'll allow him to cut Big Al off if he can get a decent start, but it will come down. Oh, it's Mikhail. I think Mikhail's run into someone. I think Mikhail and Pondon have run into each other.
Nicely done, guys.
Oh, and look at that Mercedes at the back there. Way off. Grid box on the left-hand side of the circuit. So there we are. We've got a green flag. All right, so 5 red lights. And they're out. And away they go down towards that first turn. And I think Big Al got a better start than Jack Humphries. And the McLaren makes an early breakaway. As they all come around turn 1.
Big Al got an
they're
amazing
all
start.
together. Yep, they're all together now. There you go. You can see the rainfall. The 2 Ferraris come together. And, geez, everyone just struggling for grip there. So we see Fever down here at P5. And it looks pretty clean behind. You can hear the struggle. Relatively clean, though, I must say. So we're off to a good start.
Mikhail makes a massive send on Andocat. Doesn't quite work out.
So, down towards turn 8 now. Everybody's starting to get used to the speed on this intermediate tyre. You can see FIBA rapidly wiggling the wheel there, just trying to get some form of feeling, I suppose. As Apollo Pepsi goes round the outside, FIBA will hold the inside line. Who gets a better exit out on this corner? I'm not sure, as the AlphaTauri Batemate gets a little sideways there, under pressure from Hero.
Massive move there by Hero. Go to the inside of Bate there, and good, pretty well.
So as we come to the end of lap 1, Big Al is in the lead of this race. Jack Humphries in P2, Panner in P3, Crusher P4, FIBA in P5, Apollo Pepsi in P6.
What happened to Big Al today? Someone lit a fire under him.
Yeah, it's a very impressive qualifying result. Just getting hit by Jack Humphries at the end there. And then, of course, that brilliant start in the wet. Jack Humphries had nowhere to go. He aimed his car in order to try and cut him off, but yeah, the speed was just much greater on the start there. And I think Hero has just made the overtake on Apollo Pepsi. Yep, on the right side there. He is now up in P6.
He has indeed got himself out of that Ferrari sandwich. At the moment, Andocat's sitting on an AlphaTauri sandwich.
So another thing that I've done for the leaderboard, I found out that the way that SimHub processes interval data makes it freak out if you have the interval on anything less than 3 seconds of update every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've extended it down to 3 seconds, so you'll notice that the intervals update later. They don't update as fast, but they will be more accurate. As we see a 10 lap to go warning there. Of course, we are in the sprint race. It's FIBA getting awfully close to the back of Crush here, almost trying to nudge him as if to say, please get a move on. I have people to catch.
It is wet though, so Canada already is not an easy track to overtake, and in the wet it's going to be even harder. So how many positions can FIBA realistically make?
Not sure. There's
Oh,
the
he's
forecast
definitely going to
there.
get the Mercedes.
Oh, and he runs into the back of him again. Now, no damage being reported from any of the cars, which is lucky. He's going to try and look on the inside of turn 8, hard on the brakes. And the Alpine will make the move.
Beautiful move by FIBA.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Crush will respond in kind, but look at the Red Bull lurking in the distance. He's going to go deep on the inside as they go into turn 10. FIBA has missed the braking move. Here we go. Now it's a drag race between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Taylor's oldest time here on the inside. It looks like he's got the better speed, but Crush not wanting to give this up. Hero's going to have to be careful here. He's going to have a tighter line into the chicane. They both go into the brakes. And that's sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. Hero goes up into P5 as Big O sets another fastest lap there, 1:21.1.
What a move, Hero. Take a bow. Such a big fan into that hairpin, but he pulls the car up, puts it on the inside, gets next to Crush, and forces Crush out wide, and then drag race down to the chicane. Man, and he held it. What a move.
Yeah, it was very well done. And the other thing you do have to commend him on, and I'm not sure if he meant this, but I'll give him the credit. When he hit, it's M-Dog! Gets a little sideways, but catches it. Now Batemate is going to rush to that inside line. We'll probably get him here on turn 6. Be careful, give each other room. There he is. Perfect overtake from the AlphaTauri. Capitalizes on the mistake there, and it looks like Endocat might just do the same as they rush down towards turn 8. Endocat looked on the inside, decides to stay in line. Going back to that, so Hero dives on the inside, and then FIBA messes up his braking point and goes a little wide. And so what ended up happening is that Crush ended up getting boxed in because of that. So it's a double whammy. Not only does Hero make the move on the inside, but then he also manages to keep the speed because Crush has nowhere to go. So it all worked out well for the Red Bull.
Hero, though, very impressive under the brakes. He made that lunge from about 3 cars back, and he pulled the car up. So late on the brakes, but yeah, he nailed it.
So
Big Al.
Yeah.
He's actually schooling everyone else at the moment, including Jack Humphries, who had a very impressive performance at the Invitational earlier this week.
Yes, that's very true. AFR taking the top spot. FIBA winning the race. Big Al ended up, I think, final result, he came 4th?
4th, yeah.
Yep. So points overall, we ended up winning that, so a great result from those two. And maybe that's what's lit Big Al. Maybe he's just sort of thought, like, yeah, that's a good result, and starting to shine through. But whatever it is, he's got to do that more often, because my lord, he's more than 1.5 seconds down the road there from Jack Humphries, which is not something you can do every day.
Very few people can say they're 1.5 seconds up the road from Jack Humphries.
And those gaps are actually starting to standardise. Just curious to see who is in attack range, if anyone else. Of course, no DRS due to the wet conditions.
It's drying out though, it's stopped raining.
We are down to 38. I can see that number decreasing as Jack Humphries now takes the fastest lap of the race at 1:20.55.
These guys might be on dry tyres soon.
Possibly. We still have half the race to go. Just looking at the tyre degradation there. So the maximum tyre degradation on track is Hero, 20% of wear. And also, I must commend this lobby. Every single person is running telemetry. That is the first time ever that I can see everyone's telemetry. So thank you.
Tier 1 bringing the goods for us.
So M-Dog is starting to slowly drop away from Baitmate here.
Pepsi is catching a crush.
Switch over there. P7 for the Ferrari driver. Let's have a look at these two. So here we go. Last lap. Polar Pepsi. Faster in sectors 2 and 3, but slower in the lap overall by almost 2/10. There's the difference. We'll just have a look at what the final speeds of each of these guys will be down at the end of the straight. Dry conditions, you're looking at 320. It looks like about 309 between the two. As FIBA now sets the fastest lap. Oh, and Mikko and T-Mac get multiple warnings, and it looks like they've cut the chicane one too many times.
Pretty hard not to on this game. It's a challenging circuit as far as penalties are concerned. Oh, so Crush is holding up Pepsi, and that's giving Baitmate and M-Dog a chance to catch up again.
Now lap 7 of 12. So Apollo will have to start keeping in mind. Oh, as he gets a little sideways, but catches it well. Again, Big Al. Oh.
Both of them. They both.
Yep. The wear is starting to get to these guys. There's a graph. 18% there for Baitmate. He's doing really, really well considering the majority of drivers are actually around the 20% mark. So Baitmate's taking care of these tyres. Oh, and have a look at M-Dog here. He might have a look down to what he's done to chicane. No, he decides to play it safe. As Panda takes the fastest lap there, 1:20.086.
Track is going rapidly, but with 4 laps to go, I don't think we're going to see any pit stops. Because at that point, you're going to have to be 5 seconds a lap slower to make it worth it.
Yep.
Or 5 seconds a lap faster to make it worth it, and that's just unrealistic. So, enters all the way.
It looks like 28% on the forecast there, so although it could dry up further, I think you're right. It may not be beneficial at all to come in and switch to that dry tyre. Probably lose more time in the pits than you would gained on track. So it's a really interesting pack here from Crush onwards. So 4 cars. Actually, no, 5 cars, because it goes down to Andocat there in P10, who's slowly but surely catching up to the back of M-Dog.
Big train there. Crush being the cork in the bottle. Top 5 just in a class of their own.
As Big Al takes my look, this is Game of hot potato here for the fastest lap. Well, I was going to say Big Al took a bit. Panda decides it's his turn. 119.6 as M-Dog loses a little bit of traction coming out of the corner. Nothing major.
Yeah, he lost a bit of time to Undercut there again.
Yep, so Undercut now well and truly part of this little train.
Sorry. I was going to say, Batemate currently in the last points paying position in this sprint race. So yeah, M-Dog would be pretty desperate to try and get past him.
Yeah, you'll probably see some do-or-die movements for the cars behind once they realise that the lap counter gets closer to that 12-lap mark. Interestingly, the top 5, everyone's essentially 1 second out of each other's way. Panda, the only person within attack range there of Jack Humphries. He gets really, really close through the hairpin, but then it looks like the straight line speed, the Alpines are running a low downforce setup. Right now, nobody's in a real chance to make a move. T-Mac and Mikau actually are fighting down at the back there. Mikau currently ahead.
I'm not sure if he was ahead or if he made a move.
He made a move into the hairpin, and then Mikau got a better exit. So they traded places twice there. They both have 3-second penalties, of course, so they're running their own little race here. As T-Mac gets a massive snap there, but catches it well. And we are 3-lap warning. Big Al well and truly in the lead of this race. 2 seconds of a gap right now to Jack Humphries as they move their way through the corners towards turn 8.
Oh, yeah, McKenna not looking very confident in that car at all, but saying that neither is T-Mac.
Endocat is getting closer and closer here. M-Dog's just getting a couple of mistakes through some of the... What? I say that! As Endocat has a mistake of his own.
They're getting a little bit too keen to try and overtake.
I really don't blame him. Every point matters, and right now Batemate is the gatekeeper for that points entry. But as M-Dog and Endocat keep having smaller slip-ups, they're really starting to break away from that initial pack. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to close that gap in the next 2 laps. But if the cars ahead do make a mistake, then they'll be back in that fight. As Jack Humphries, 119.1.
They are just trading off one after the other, aren't they?
They essentially can't race each other, so it's coming down to just who is better on the scoreboard.
They're going to have to be really careful now as far as their tyres are concerned, because their tyres are going to start overheating.
So there's your last lap analysis between Apollo Pepsi and Batemate there. Batemate faster by 3/10. Look at that gain on Sector 3 alone.
That's massive.
It's a massive gain. As Batemate just get... Oh, as Hero picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not a problem because Crush is 8 seconds behind. For a minute, I thought that might be an issue, but no. Crush is really, really suffering here. 32% wear on those tyres. And interestingly, M-Dog copped front wing damage, so he's hit something recently. As T-Mac and Mikau. T-Mac on the outside. Mikau's going to try and hold this position as best as he can. I think T-Mac might have something to say about that. He gets right ahead, but now Mikau's going to try and use the draft. He's going to look on the left side. T-Mac will give him 1 car of space and nothing more, as Mikau is not in the ideal position to make the chicane, but T-Mac does pull back, allow him to pass, and it's a clean exit. Mikau into 11th as Feebar picks up a 3-second time penalty now. So that will potentially... oh, not really, because Hero also has a 3-second time penalty.
That'll do nothing. But Jack Humphries has made up a lot of Big Al.
And also took the fastest lap of that previous go-round.
Oh, look at the ERS though. Big Al's been saving.
35% versus Jack Humphries with 9%. He is trying to get him down towards the hairpin, but as you can see, he's keeping well, but unfortunately he won't have the assistance. Big Al will. There it is. He's just... They've both turned it on. He unfortunately will not be able to use it to get past that bright orange McLaren, and Big Al will come across and take the win here for... Oh, as Pondon picks up a 3-second time penalty in the back for multiple warnings. Big Al will take first place and the points as Jack Humphrey sets a fastest lap right at the end of the session. And here comes M-Dog on the inside of his teammate. Nope. Looked like he'd get closer there, but he decides to just stay back. As Crush takes the fastest lap right at the end of 1:17.8, which is interesting considering how slow he was on race pace to the guys ahead, but fastest lap, so...
We missed something. M-Dog over to Fate Medicine when he stole that last point-spin position.
He did. He did. That's why he was behind Apollo Pepsi. So while we were watching Big Al cross the line, M-Dog managed to slip past. So a pretty good result, actually, for the Ferraris in the sprint race. We'll see if they can translate that luck to the main race. So there we are, Big Al. 8 points to his name. See if he can keep that performance there for the next race. Jack Humphries there in P2, Penner in P3, Fever in P4, Hero Crush, Apollo Pepsi, and M-Dog round out the top 8. An unfortunate one there for Pondon, Mikau, and T-Mac, all with 3-second penalties. Fever and Hero also with 3-second penalties, but they managed to maintain the gap to each other, so nothing really came about that.
Pretty exciting sprint race.
No, it was actually it's actually really well done. It was interesting to see how fast some of these guys were in the wet. Ended up being more of a time attack than an actual race at the front, but in any case, it was interesting. The other thing to point out too is while we wait for the session to load, so the championship cannot be decided for Tier 1 until at least the next race. So FIBA is 321 points. This is, of course, before this sprint race. 321 points. Big Al with 236. So there is 170 points available. Max points available. So we won't be able to... Nobody will be able to seal it up today. But FIBA does have an 85-point lead as it stands. So it's looking good. He just has to have a good result here. And he should be able to lock it away with another good result next week.
He is pretty close, yeah.
So a dry race, which means we will see full performance from these guys. And I'm just curious, what tyre would they start on? I would assume maybe mediums.
So this is a tough one. Hard medium is definitely the fastest strategy. And that's proven. No one will argue that point. But because of the potential of safety cars, doing a medium hard is possibly safer.
All right, well, there's the starting tyres on the screen right now. Everyone has decided to start on hard except Batemate. Batemate will start on the medium tyre, so he will have a little bit more speed under his chassis, but of course that'll mean that he'll have to come in earlier than anyone else. So he'll want to try and get as many positions as possible down there in P9.
Man, this grid is going to be stacked next season. You have the likes of Big Al, Jack Humphries, Panda, and FIBA all up there. Big Al again, setting off at race pace for his promotion lap.
Yeah. Just split from everyone else there. Wants to get this done and dusted. So everyone just trying to get warmth in the carcass of the tyre. Brakes.
Man's hungry. He wants to go get some dinner. He's got to finish this off quickly. I love watching them serpentine down a straight if they're like in a perfect sequence like they just were for a second.
Yep, where everyone's linked up. Yeah, it is actually pretty hypnotic.
I like how the first two is the bit of form. You've got McLaren's on the one side and Alpine's on the other.
Yep, Alpine's on the other. So now you can see that angle there from Big Al. looking to do the exact same thing that Jack Humphries was attempting on that previous sprint. See if they can get the better start. Of course, it is a dry race, so we should have more grip. Therefore, less traction loss here off the line. Waiting for someone to connect. Oh man, I really hope nobody's disconnected here.
I think someone has.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to get back in without any issue. Ooh, a migrating host. Okay, so that means that Baitmate might have an issue. Yep, there we go. So hopefully he can jump back in. There are the 5 lights. And we are away. And it's actually a decent launch for Panda. They come together. So Panda just running into the side of the Alpine. There's no damage from anyone there. Baitmate has rejoined. So hopefully we won't have to deal with anything too major there. Mick out. Oh, that would be Baitmate's AI actually fighting there to hold on to his position. It's a pretty clean start. I'll commend everyone. There we go.
It's AI make your positions. Clear better thanks Jack Humphries.
Oh man, have a look at the Williams at the back. They're just going straight across the corner. McGowan Endocat trade down there for P12. Crush now looking to go on the left side here of Apollo Pepsi. Oh, they're coming together.
Oh man.
Out on the brakes.
There.
Yep. And it looks like the Ferrari got the much better arc. M-Dog might have something to say about this as well. Right up the back of the Mercedes. Has dropped back slightly through the exit.
Fondant spun.
Oh, again, Crush looking on the inside here. And he does make it work. But he does cut the corner. 3-second time penalty there for the Mercedes. That's a very, very early penalty.
I think that was just a straight 3-second. No warnings there, just straight 3, which is fair. He completely cut that chicane. He just straight line that corner.
Yep. So he'll have to deal with that over the course of the race. So Big Al, 1 second. I'm just waiting for the interval times to update here. There we go.
Oh, Pepsi!
Oh, that's a big crash! That is a big crash.
Yeah, and more front wing for Pepsi.
And we've got a virtual safety car. You can see the carbon fibre strewn all over the track there as Pondon comes around and wonders what the hell just went on. So Apollo Pepsi now having to make it back to the pits in order to put a front wing in that car. I would show a replay, but unfortunately we couldn't quite capture it as it unfolded. I was trying to get a clear shot of the car, but didn't quite grab it on that one. Hopefully we're a bit faster on the next. So
back to green.
Yeah, back to green flag. DRS is enabled now. Lap 3. There's the weather. No rain in sight.
That's really ruined Pepsi's race because he won't be able to take those mediums to the end. He'll have to pit again.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not ideal. I'm not sure if he did that on his own or if he had some assistance from the rear.
That was by himself. I was on board.
So just getting a little trigger happy on the throttle.
Looks like it.
FIBA takes a very interesting line through the... Oh, he gets a snap at the front there. Takes a very interesting line through turn 10. You get it much deeper into the corner, but then the exit speed doesn't seem the same. Just curious if maybe he might have messed that up, or that's just his line. In any case, still closing down onto the McLaren here of Panda. As Big Al will set the fastest lap, 1:13.1.
Yep, he was in his groove now. He's definitely faster than Panda. So
there is the last lap. So Panda was actually faster on that last lap. But Phoebe is faster through the first sector.
Yeah, made up for quite a bit of time on Panda for first sector. But he is also a bit lower on ERS, so that might have something to do with it. He's juicing a lot.
Oh, bang to the wall!
Oh, no.
That's so lucky.
Any damage?
Nope. He managed to keep it out of the wall. Held his brakes, waited for the grid to pass. Very well done there. It's unfortunate now. Dropped down to P12. Started on the mediums. This is not how he wanted the strategy to go.
No, definitely not. But in saying that, if he does get an early safety car, he could do a one-stop swap to the hards, where everyone else is kind of in a pretty tough position then. Oh! That was a little deep.
Right now, it is a fight between McLaren and Alpine. Big Al and Panda, P1 and 2. Fever and Jack Humphries, P3 and 4. And they're running their own little race at 2.5 second gap back to the Red Bull of Hero. His teammate can combined decide to trade places. Oh, it's Jack Humphries! Picks up a 3-second time penalty now.
I wonder if that was just a one-stop straight as well, or if it was multiple warnings. Sure. Crash doing, not quite doing what he was doing last race. He's been held up by Hero now.
Fever. So he's very, very late into the hairpin. They're using a little bit of overtake. So Hero and Pondon both with front wing damage at the moment. Fever is starting to leave his teammate behind at the moment, so that's interesting. Oh my lord, it's Panda. Actually, might even be able to see that for a minute. Let's just keep an eye on that McLaren ahead of you. Just look at the angle that he gets coming out of the chicane.
Hey-ya!
Looks like Pondon there with a 3-second time penalty as well. So that's 3 drivers now pinged for infringements.
Gotta keep it on the track, guys. Oh, that's a Ferrari around. Is that Pepsi? It's Pepsi.
Yep. Him at the back there as M-Dog chases. Oh, Feeble with a 3-second time penalty now. Everybody being picked. So Canada be a bit of a struggle here for some of these guys. M-Dog chasing Crush down for P6.
These guys are going to be in tears if there's a safety car on like lap 30.
Oh, just too much power into those rear tyres. Keeps it though.
Oh, Fever! My goodness, nearly mounting the back of that McLaren.
Crush is going so incredibly fast right now. He's got the DRS. Hero's going to look to stay on the left side. He's going to try and force some space into it. Wow, that's incredibly clean. But Hero has managed to hold on. Well done to the Red Bull.
That was impressive. Hero has damage, doesn't he?
He does. He's got slight front wing damage to that car.
Yeah.
Crush now coming into the XDRS zone.
Oh, Mikhail's round.
So mate overtaking his teammate at the back.
Just getting his car moving now. Oh, Pondon, what are you doing? Goes for a bit of a sun. Gets the move done though.
So Crush, man, right there on Hero, but M-Dog also right on the back of the Mercedes. And it looks like they've got pretty even straight line speed here as Crush will follow him through. And that's a very, very good chicane there for the Mercedes. I'm curious to see if DRS will allow him to get him onto turn 1. He looks on the inside, but it's just a little too far back. As Mikhail and Pondon decide to have a little bit of a fight there.
Okay, getting back past Pondon after a spin. Also decided to cool down now and he's ready to keep gunning for it.
Here's Fever, turn 7. Back to the front of this race, lap 8 of 35.
He's burning everything.
He's trying to catch Panda with a fury, but all of this is allowing Big Al to maintain a decent pace and lead. 1 second now, except you would think, from a team perspective, that Big Al doesn't want to get too far ahead, otherwise Panda's going to fall victim to DRS.
I do think that's what they're doing. I think Big Al's keeping him in DRS to try and keep Fever behind. Because he knows Fever will have to burn everything to get past Panda.
Yeah,
and that leaves him vulnerable to fighting with Big Al.
Yeah, he just looked into the inside there. The other thing too is that neither of them have penalties, but both the Alpines do as well. So Panda's going to have to think about that and just try and keep as clean as possible. And then he'll just win due to not having penalties. And all of that has allowed Jack Humphries to actually come back into this as well. So every single driver there, apart from the leader, will have DRS assistance through the zones. It's pretty steady. I mean, it's definitely 2 races in one. You've got the top 4 and then everybody else. Oh, there's 3 races. There's the top 4, everybody else, and then Apollo down the bottom. Who, unfortunately, with his spins, and, unless we have a safety car, then they'll be able to grid up. But
I'd say these guys will be wanting safety cars. Pretty much everyone apart from the people with penalties, and possibly Big Al, would be asking for a safety car.
man, you can see the Alpine has just a little bit more straight line speed than the McLaren, but if that front McLaren has DRS, the Fever cannot overtake.
No, Panda, I believe, is running a really low downforce setup, and it's helping him out a lot here.
Man, Fever's just getting little nudges here on this McLaren. It's nothing to be, you know, worried about, I suppose. Just as long as he doesn't spin Panda, but he is giving him just little bumps there. Jack Humphries picks up yet another 3-second time penalty from the stewards for cutting the corner. So he's driving too hard right now.
That's at 6 now, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's at 6. So he's driving too hard right now. That's just put Hero back in contention. Oh, I think he just went off. He did. He hit the wall. Jack Humphries has hit the wall. So there is. He's dealing with something there. There's no damage to the car. Oh, it's Fever goes right on the inside. I was looking at the telemetry. I almost missed it. So Fever has managed to make the move. But I'm curious to see if Panda might actually have a bit of speed here.
Both have DRS. Panda burning everything he's got. Fever going to keep the position though.
Here we go. Who's got the better exit speed? Oh, Panda must have got a warning for that. So Fever is in full attack mode, and Panda will be scrambling to try and get that position back, but Jack Humphries no longer a threat.
Both of them actually had 0% DRS left. They completely drained their batteries in that battle.
So the top shot there from the helicopter cap. Fever did manage to make that move on the McLaren of Panda. But now he will not have his teammate to help. So we might see some bullying here from the McLaren team.
I'm not so sure they really have the option. Fever is driving so rapidly at the moment. I thought Big Al had more ERS, but he's been burning a lot just to stay ahead. They're
all on really, really low. Fever actually has the lowest of any of the 3, but Fever will also have DRS here, so we'll jump on board with the Alpine. We'll see it just on the Halo HUD information here. So 6% on that battery. There's the DRS active. So again, about 325 kilometers an hour or so. Get at the straight.
Now, ERS around Canada is notoriously difficult to manage. We were doing some testing before, and you're saving, if you're in clean air and you're running by yourself, without using ERS, you regenerate about 1 to 2% per lap.
Yeah, wow. I was crushing Hero trade. P5 and 6. So there you can see Fever is 10th faster than Big L on that last lap. DRS will have something to do with that.
Hero finally getting that. Oh no. I thought they were the other way around as Mikhail spins again.
Oh, Feeman deep on the inside here of turn 10. They do slightly come into contact with each other. Oh, and Panda's gone sideways, but he catches the car again.
Big Al not
Jesus.
very happy.
No, I don't think so. There was definitely contact through the corner. And looking at the tyre wear, Fever is actually driving the crap out of that car. 35% wear for that Alpine.
I'm a bit shocked at that. This is a good move, don't get me wrong, excellent with both Fever, but I'm amazed that he actually managed to get it done there. But I love how much I've just how this track likes to kick you when you're down. So we seem to get over. Did he?
Oh my God! How he caught that as the M-Dog picks up a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Oh, another bit of snap there from the Red Bull. He's having some issues. That front wing is starting to really affect him. The M-Dog also with front wing damage, and Mikau recently picked up front wing damage as well.
Team back on the back here. Now Hero's really struggling on those tires. What I was saying is, I love how this track likes to kick you when you're down. So, because of where the DRS detection point is, not only do you get overtaken into the hairpin, but then the guy that just overtakes you has DRS down both straights. Just to really rub salt in the wound.
So T-Mac was close, but through the exit of turn 10, did drop back far enough that it's not really in range anymore to Hero as we see them go through the chicane. Jump back up on board. Lap 14 of 35 on board with Jack Humphries here in the Alpine car. 6 seconds of penalties for him versus 3 seconds with his teammate who is now in P1. And he's managed to catch back up to the little train forming, so they're all within 1 second of each other. Oh, and I think Jack Humphries just makes the overtake on Panda. Panda making a mistake. Through turn 7.
But still, there's penalties. All Panda has to do is really sit with Jack as best he can, and he'll still end up on the podium.
Yeah, Jack Humphries has a lot to work. The only way this could get worse for Jack is if there's a safety car.
Oh, that would really hurt.
Because then everyone behind, so Crush's 6-second gap will get eradicated, and then everybody will be within range. Of course, considering the amount of laps still left to go in this race, then, you know, they could probably make the gap back as Jack Humphries decides to come into the pits at lap 14.
That's early. That's really early. This is about where you'd expect the medium runners to pit.
2.2 there on the pit stop. Medium tyres. So he'll exit, let's see, P10? P11? P11.
That's... Not only is it not a good idea to do that this early, because if you run those mediums for so long, he's pitted himself right into some terrible traffic that he now has to contend with. So his undercut, I think, is not going to go well. I think that was a very silly strategy call by him.
We'll see. Z-Dog saying 2 stop the softs. That L-Strat on less wing damage. We're about to find out. Well, the Hero at the moment was chasing down the M-Dog. In that Ferrari. Oh, I was just going to say that Hero with no 3-second time penalty, but unfortunately that is no longer the case. Mick out with the fastest lap of the race at 112.661 on the medium compound tyre. Oh, who was that in the wall? That's M-Dog! I didn't even see what happened.
He lost it out on traction.
And it's a safety car. It has caused a safety car. Things have just gone bad to worse for that Alpine.
Jack Humphries is kicking himself right now.
If you're Hero, look at that timing. Actually, Crush called it as well. Crush came into the... That's fantastic. We'll just go back onto that replay. I didn't quite catch it, but here we go. Down towards turn 10. Keep an eye on that Ferrari ahead. Is it just simple Yep, bang, right on the curb. Oh, man. That is unfortunate. Well, here we are. Lap 16 of 35, and we have our first safety car of the race. FIBA in the lead, but Big Al and Panda now close that gap as they come through. I wonder if these guys will pit.
They'll have to. They'll put on the mediums. Jack Humphries could have jumped Red Panda if he waited, because Panda's got the gap now, so the McLarens are going to double stack, but it shouldn't really matter looking at that gap.
Yeah, there you go. You can see him rocketing back in, and Big Al, or Panda, I should say, has done the Shell V-Power strat, where they've just artificially extended the time limit. Is this going to be perfect? Look at that! Oh, there's a little bit of a slowdown, but it's nothing major, not with a safety car. So Panda will come out. Jack Humphries will overtake him on track. Actually, will he?
Yeah, he will. He's got him.
Hold on. Yeah, he does. Panda's still on the pit exit. I saw Big Al and was like, oh wow, Panda got through quick. But wrong McLaren. So there we go. So Panda will exit in P4, but again, neither of the McLarens have penalties. So this is a very rough race for the Alpine team, I should say. They'll have to try and break away as much as possible. You can see, what is going on here with... What is Jack Humphries doing? He's running side by side with Big Al. Oh, okay, now he's dropped back now. That was weird. He's doing the Max Verstappen.
Trying to get into his head.
You're not even allowed to do that anymore, funnily enough. 2022 regulations. You must be behind the car ahead.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, you're supposed to single file, so... Yeah, Jack Humphries just gets right up alongside. It's really interesting to watch.
I don't know why he's doing it.
I'm sure he'll do it again. Watch this. Like, he's just like, yeah, I don't know. Is it mind games? Is that what the deal is? If he gets pinged for overtaking in the safety car, I'll laugh so hard. Just technically, not that I advise this, but technically all Big Al has to do is brake.
If Big Al wants to, you could report him for it. Because it's a bit...
Oh, hold on a minute. Z-Dog in the chat, he's stopping Big Al from warming his tyres. Is that actually what that is?
Well, I don't think so, because even if he's behind him, Big Al isn't swerving. Look, he's not. Like, he can do it now, and he's just not swerving.
Yeah.
He just started now.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I'm like, if that's what that is, that's great. That's just another level of strategy. Javier asking for a damage check, not a problem. So, the majority of drivers have had theirs repaired, but Hero is still showing as having front wing damage. Now, I wonder if that's because Hero has had a pit, so does that mean he's hit? Or he either didn't get the wing replaced?
Yeah, if you have lime green wing damage, you have to specifically tell the crew to replace it, otherwise they don't.
Yeah, cool. So that's why. So obviously it's light enough that it's not a worry for him. But everyone else has had their front wing replaced. Hero is the only car on track right now with damage. Everyone is on around about 4% wear on those tyres. Jack Humphries has 8% of wear, of course. He pit earlier than everyone else. And Mikau on 13% mediums. Endocat on 39% mediums.
Endocat on 39% mediums? Oh, okay. He's... Oh. I see what's happened. He's pit for another set of mediums, but because we only get 2 sets of mediums for the race weekend, the set he's on is a sprint set. So he will have to pit again.
Most definitely. So here we are, FIBA leading the pack. There's the race story. Started 4th, currently 1st.
I wonder if he knows, because if he knows, he would have pit this lap to get rid of those mediums. Because they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. Definitely dead.
He should have pit this lap, unless maybe he's not aware that he had used mediums. In which case, it's going to get a really nasty surprise on this restart.
Oh, here we go. Safety car is in this lap. So race control have confirmed that the Aston Martin safety car will come in. So it will be up to FIBA to restart this race. And these guys are so close. Look at this. He's literally next to it. It's side by side. It's fantastic. It's weird, but anyway, the game won't penalize you for it. So again, keep an eye on that Alpine. Jump on board. So there you go. A snake. Oh, FIBA has wasted no time. Are you joking?
He loves going early.
He really does. The thing is, you're going to get up to the chicane, but I guess if he can make it through cleanly, here we go. Oh, it's combined. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. So the real question here is, Jax, he's not allowed to overtake to the start-finish line. There it goes. He's going to look to the inside. It's a really late break into turn 2. But my God, he makes it work.
That was a massive send.
It was a massive send. Have a look at Crush now as well. So everybody is really close together due to the safety car restart. Jax managed to go, I said turn 2, I meant turn 1. He did a dive into turn 1. And the Alpines are now together. So hopefully the McLarens can work together to try and take them back. But keep in mind, they do have the time penalties. So they're going to have to work extra hard to try and make enough of a gap where that won't be the case. Hero's going to try and go on the left side here of Panda. It's not going to work out, but it might work out of the exit. The Red Bull much faster than the McLaren. He goes right down. And can he hold it into the turn 10 hairpin? Panda's going to try and brake later. He's going to force him a little bit wide, but the Red Bull might be faster on the exit. It doesn't look like it. Well done there from Panda. It was a good defensive move.
Excellent defense by Panda, but Hero
I take it back.
that exit speed. Look at him go.
Oh, I take it back. Here we go. That is the ERS overtake that you're watching. And he won't be able to turn in, but he'll be able to try and get right up close to the back of that McLaren. No DRS, of course, due to the safety car restart. Hero's going to look at the inside. He's going to go late on the brakes. He's going to try. Doesn't do a massive dive, though. Now he's going to try and look for the switchback. No, he maintains that out of line. Okay, so it'll be but he gets a much better exit. Now we're going to go into turn 3. Hard on the brakes. The McLaren gets touched slightly to the side. Oh, my God. It is so close between these two.
Oh, it's not done yet.
They're still side by side. There's a little bit of contact. Neither of these guys have got any extra damage from here. Of course, Hero still has the front wing. Now they're going to turn 8. Here we go. Oh, Hero pick up a 3-second time penalty. Hits the back of the car. Oh, man, that is such a poor camera angle.
Oh, no. What a battle, though. What an absolute battle.
So here we go. Hero on the left side. They come together slightly. Hero takes a little bit too much curve, picks up the 3-second time penalty, hits the McLaren, and then loses traction, spins off the track. And that is the end of that. It's very, very unfortunate there for the Red Bull. Drops all the way down to last place as